Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamaraly. If you guys are new here, thank you so much. If this is your first time coming across my channel and the first video that you are clicking on, but this video is going to be a good video in my honest opinion. We are going to be talking about exactly what the topic and the title of the video shows, all about building habits and sticking to them and building good habits at that, because we all know that we all have some good habits that we follow and some bad habits that we just need to really get rid of and slowly ease off on. Within this video, I will be sharing with you all the ways that I'm going to do better in building my habits, because I am not perfect. I'm pretty sure that you probably see all these YouTube gurus and all these people now on social media who look like they have it all together and think that they, you know, have the ins and outs and everything that they do is perfect, and they probably have all the good habits in the world, but honestly it's just for show. They don't show you what actually happens on the back end, and I can actually account for that because I mean, I get a lot of DMs saying that, oh my god, you look like you have everything together, but I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. I am one of the most inconsistent people that you could probably ever meet. I am someone who starts something and then takes forever to finish it. I will finish it, but I will take forever to finish it. The first thing that I wanted to kind of share with you within this video is that the majority of entrepreneurs and business owners, I feel like the number one thing that is hard to really master but is key to literally everything is just consistency. Consistency is something that we always hear. Consistency is key, and it's honestly true, because if you are consistently doing something, eventually it's gonna turn into something that you're gonna always do. And what I mean by that is that habits are a series of actions that you consistently do that just turn into daily habits that you do without even thinking twice about it. So if you're doing something, you know, good every single day, whether it's waking up at 5 in the morning every single day, and you consistently do that, it's gonna turn into a habit of yours. But let's say if you are consistently sleeping in and you're super lazy and you're consistently, you know, late to everything, it's gonna become a habit that you consistently do because you're always taking those same actions and you're not doing anything to change them. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there for you to kind of get an idea of what I mean by consistency in action. So you really want to make sure that your actions are consistent to something that you really want to continue doing and that are good, so that they become a good habit of yours. Now, before I get into the actual gist of actions and things that I feel are great to actually build the habit, please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and give this video a thumbs up if you already like it, if you're excited to hear all the ways that I have to share with you. And without further ado, let's jump right into the video. All right, so the first step that I feel that you should take when you're starting to develop good habits and break bad ones is you really need to set realistic goals. Because if you're setting high expectations and things that, you know, are not necessarily realistic, it's gonna be hard for you to stay consistent with that. So when I always see myself kind of falling off on something and I see that I need to really get back on track, what I try to tend to do is really take baby steps. And this kind of goes along with another one of the steps that I was gonna share with you, but I'll kind of combine the both of them together. So when you're taking those realistic steps, you need to keep in mind that baby steps and small steps lead to much bigger actions and much bigger things. So when I say set realistic expectations, what you want to do is that if you want to start waking up earlier in the morning, set your alarm not necessarily at 5 o'clock on the first day. Start setting it maybe like 30 minutes to an hour earlier every single day, you know, every single day on from there, and then gradually work your way into 5 o'clock in the morning. Because if you're used to waking up at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then you jump to 4 hours earlier at 5:30 in the morning, it's going to be a big shock to you and your body. You might do it the first day, you might do it for the first week, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to stay consistent with that, because it's such a big shock to your body. You're gonna end up falling off quickly. Now, that's not to say that there are some people who actually do, you know, stick to that. Salute to you. But the majority of us, like I said, you need to really set real realistic expectations, because like I said, the majority of people will not. They will fall off quickly because they're not used to it, or they just don't like it, or you have to really get in the momentum of actually doing that first. So what I would suggest is take small baby steps and set those realistic expectations, such as, okay, since I usually wake up at 9 in the morning, let's tomorrow start waking up, or let's this entire week start waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, an hour earlier. And then maybe once your body starts getting accustomed to that, after maybe a week or 2 weeks, then the following week, then let's do it, or let's bump it up to 30 minutes earlier than 8 o'clock, or an hour earlier, so let's do 7. And gradually work your way up to the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or whatever time it is that you want to wake up, or whatever goal that you are trying to attain is. So remember that baby steps is key. Take those small steps, because eventually they will turn into much bigger steps. Your body, your mind will fall into the, you know, the momentum and acquire that want and need to wake up earlier every single day, and then eventually you will attain your end goal, and then build that habit, because you will be consistently taking actions towards that end goal. So on to the next step on how to actually acquire good habits is really telling yourself that you can accomplish the goal, and believing in yourself that you can actually accomplish this goal. I love to get myself in a mindset, and it's much more of a mindset thing. Like, the majority of the things that I will share with you is all about mindset. I'm more of a person who is mind over matter for a lot of the things. So when you put yourself in a mindset of, I can do this, I will do this, you will eventually, or you will be able to do that, versus, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that, or, you know, I don't think I can do that. It's all negativity, and you need to scratch the negativity and cut it out completely. You need to think much more positively about every single thing that you do, about everything in all aspects of your life and your actions, especially goals that you are trying to acquire. Because one big thing here is knowing and understanding that if you have a certain goal and a certain thing that you are trying to accomplish, the person who you are at that very moment is obviously not at that end goal. So what ends up happening is that you need to understand that you need to change whatever it is that you are doing currently in order to become the type of person that is already at that end goal, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So you need to get out of whatever habits that you are currently doing and change that to become the person that has whatever it is that you are trying to achieve and the goal that you are trying to achieve. So what I mean by this is remembering that it's not, I can't do this, or I won't be able to do this, or I don't think I'm going to do this, and making excuses for yourself. You need to cut the excuses. You need to believe in yourself that you can actually accomplish the goal. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe that anything is attainable, because it honestly is. Now, that is the second step that I have to give to you. So have a great positive outlook on everything. Be in a really good mindset, and always believe that you will attain that goal, that you can do it. Because I promise you, if you tell yourself that, you actually will accomplish it. Now, the next one is something that kind of goes hand in hand with the last one that I said. So remember when I said that if you're trying to attain like a certain goal and a certain criteria of how your lifestyle is to be. I'm just gonna throw this out there and give an example to you. What I mean by this and why I'm referencing it is because that type of person that lives a luxurious lifestyle is obviously not the person that you are now if you're trying to attain that certain lifestyle. So you have to tell yourself the type of person that you want to be, and you have to show up as that same person every single day. Now, you have to think in the mindset that the person who you're trying to become is already thinking like, and what their daily habits and their daily actions are, and become them. So I would, for example, if I'm trying to live in a luxury mansion and have tons of money and have all of this stuff, I'm gonna think to myself, okay, well, someone who is very wealthy and very successful might do this, this, and this on a daily basis. Now, in order for me to attain these goals and to become and have that same lifestyle as them, I'm gonna write down all the necessary actions needed to take in all aspects of whatever I'm doing in my life, and slowly take those steps to become that type of person. So that's just something that I wanted to throw out there as well, so that you can also have that as much more of something to also think about and help you when it comes to taking smaller steps and setting those small actions every single day, and then setting those goals to become something much more of whatever it is that you are currently at, or where you want to really be at the end. So on to the next one. This actually comes from a book that both my boyfriend and I have, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this book. It is called Atomic Habits. It's a great book. I highly recommend you guys to read it, but the next two things that I'm going to be sharing with you actually come from within the book. Now, this one that I'm going to be sharing with you is called habit pairing. I think it's called habit pairing. I'm not sure if he says a different name for it, but basically what habit pairing is when you begin a new goal or a new action that you're trying to take and pair it with something that you are currently already doing. The reason why I think this is so important and so valuable and makes it so much easier if you're trying to attain and acquire a new action and habit is because if you're already taking some sort of action, all you have to do is find whatever new thing or new action habit you're trying to acquire and attain, and pair it with whatever it is that you guys are currently doing. I mean, I know it sounds funny, but I'm gonna give you like a perfect example. This is gonna be a funny example, but I'm just gonna throw this out there. So if I am waking up at 5 in the morning every single day, but I tend to not make my bed. Now I'm already waking up, I have to get up off of my bed, I have to go to the bathroom, shower, wash my face, brush my teeth, do my whole morning routine. Now I come back to my room, essentially. I have to obviously get changed after I shower. I have to, you know, get myself all done up, but I'm letting the bed be undone. Now, what I would then do in reference to the, you know, habit pairing is I will, as soon as I wake up and I wash my face and I come back to the room, is I will first make my bed before then doing anything else. So you want to really pair those two things up, since it's easy to already do. You're already in your room, you already have to pass your bed and go to your room if you're already, you know, waking up in the morning. You want to pair the two together, and then you will eventually start taking those actions every single day, which will then turn into something like of a creature of habit that you just make your bed. Now that was just an example, but I hope that you get and understand the gist of what I'm trying to explain to you. Now, the next thing that I have to share with you is you want to create identity-based habits versus outcome-based habits. And reason why I say that is because when you identify yourself as something or an action that you're trying to do and take versus trying to build and acquire a new habit because of a certain result, you tend to lose focus and lose motivation, and it starts becoming unrealistic when it's more outcome-based versus identity-based. And what I mean by that is if you're trying to, let's say, read, you know, 4 books within a month. Let's just throw that out there as another example. If you're trying to read 4 books in a month, what you then want to do is you want to identify yourself as a reader versus saying I am going to read 4 books in a month because I'm trying to hit a goal mark. Like when you set yourself up for 4 books in a month, I mean, at least for me, and I know a lot of people their brains might wire like this, it might not be as realistic as telling yourself I identify myself as a reader, so I will then just continue to read however much books within a month. As long as I'm reading a couple pages a day every single day, it will be fine. And then eventually I will reach my goal. You know, I am a reader, I read books, I will read every single day versus I'm gonna read 4 books in 1 month. I mean, it's really not necessarily, it's not unrealistic at all. Tons of people do that. They probably surpass 4 books. But what I'm saying is that you really want to choose identity-based habits and, you know, versus outcome-based habits. Because again, if you're too focused on the outcome of something that you're trying to acquire and attain, more than likely to fall off versus if you are identifying as that certain habit. Now, the next thing is rewarding yourself after you have your wins. And I feel like this is a big thing that Jonathan and I like do all the time, and I tend to reward myself. I love rewarding myself for literally like everything. It's so fun. What I mean by this is whenever you have a small win, like for example, every time that we get a client, I mean, that's to us like something bigger than just like a necessarily small win. But every time we get a new client or something, we always go to one of our favorite restaurants, whether it's Chima's, Texas to Brazil. We always go celebrate, buy a dinner, you know? So that's what I mean. You really want to celebrate your accomplishments, and it doesn't necessarily have to be for that. Like, let's say if you've been consistently going to the gym for 2 months and you haven't missed not one day, you know, you have to reward yourself for that because you've been consistent. So you really want to make sure that you reward yourself and pat yourself on the back for that, because when you reward yourself and you see that you're actually meeting these goals and doing what you once were not doing, it makes yourself feel much better because you're actually acknowledging the fact that you are doing something and you are changing and you are acquiring some new habit of yours. So definitely be sure to reward yourself and give yourself like a pat in the back. Now, the next thing is setting yourself accountable to something, and accountability is different for a lot of people. Now, for me, when I actually announce, because like I told you guys within my other videos, I am actually challenging myself to a 30-day challenge where I'm going to be posting every single day for the next 30 days on my YouTube channel. I have to hold myself accountable. That is the way I hold myself accountable to things. If I'm posting, like a lot of you who follow me on my personal Instagram, I actually weighed my most that I've ever been a year ago, and I was posting for a year now. Every single day that I was going to the gym, my eating habits, I was changing that up, and I have lost tremendous amount of weight. I have gained muscle. I have literally toned up. My body looks different. So I tend to hold myself accountable every time I post and I announce something. And I know, like, for some people, they really don't like to announce anything that they're doing, and that's totally fine. Everyone is different. Like I said, everyone holds themselves accountable to doing things different. They can write it down in a journal. They can, you know, change their phone wallpaper as to something that's like really motivational, or like a list of goals and actions that you want to set every single day, that as soon as you open your phone, it's the first thing that you see. So you tend to hold yourself accountable, and it's like a reminder to you every single day. Or some people might even have a partner. I feel like for me, it's both a partner and me posting and announcing to hold myself accountable to things. So like my partner, Jonathan, the majority of you guys know, we both have like a tough love type of thing. So if he knows like I'm trying to work towards something, like currently I'm changing my eating habits, I'm cutting out dairy, he's actually holding me accountable, and he's super supportive of that. And like the other day, his parents brought home pizza, and he's like, as much as he wanted to eat pizza, I felt bad. I mean, I told him don't do it, but he's being really nice, and he chose not to eat the pizza because he didn't want me to feel bad, or he wants to eat healthy with me. So like, it's more of an accountability on my end of him, if that makes sense. So he's helping me out, and he's always been like a huge contributor and big supporter on everything that I try to do, and likewise both on our part. So like I said, accountability is different for everyone, but definitely find what holds you accountable to whatever actions and habits that it is that you are trying to accomplish, an end goal that you are trying to accomplish, so that you can hold yourself accountable to them and actually get them done. So I know this video is long, I talk a lot, but I hope that this video helped you guys, and maybe you guys can use some of the things that I have shared with you when it comes to actually building your habits and creating good habits versus bad ones, and letting those bad ones just kind of go, because great habits and taking great actions and baby steps every single day is always going to lead to something bigger. So I highly recommend that you start implementing and start building some good habits and start setting goals for yourself that are attainable, so that you guys can develop these great things, because it actually makes you feel so much better in the end. It's good for your mind, body, soul. I promise you, you know, start taking these steps and start developing great habits, because nothing is better than having good things and working towards something much greater, and these steps will definitely allow you to get them there. So just remember that small steps and small things, baby steps, lead to much bigger things. However, that completes this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that this was very helpful to you guys. Again, thank you guys so much for always supporting me. Please be sure to like this video if you found this helpful. Comment down below on what you guys would like to see next. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.